Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Shivaram Reddy. Today, the Hindu newspaper has carried out a special article on the letter written by Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy to Chief Justice of India, seeking his intervention to probe into the allegations against the Supreme Court senior most judge, Justice N.V. Ramana, and his interference in Andhra Pradesh High Court to probe his involvement and Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy had sought justice as Andhra Pradesh government has been found getting a raw deal from the Andhra Pradesh High Court. This purported letter, which was written on October 6th to CJI, was made public on October 10th by the advisor to government of Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Ajay Kalam. So ever since the letter came into public domain, there was a hue and cry in the country as Delhi High Court Bar Association and Supreme Court Advocate on Record Association and the Supreme Court Bar Associations and Madras High Court Bar Association have openly and strongly condemned the letter written by Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, accusing him of lowering the majesty of justice in the country. So, in this backdrop, a series of articles and barrage of discussions have been continuing in the media, which where the central theme has been whether an accused person like the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, Mr. Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, could write such a letter putting the majesty of justice in quandary and the propriety or the lack of it or the impropriety of the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister in stirring a harnessness and lowering the dignity of the justice has all been points of discussion in the past 7 8 days. So, in this context, Supreme Court advocate Mr. Prashant Bhushan, who is well known as a public interest litigation lawyer in the country, who himself was fined rupees 1 for contempt of court because his outbursts are well known and the Supreme Court had questioned his propriety also time and again. So he has written an article in the Hindu newspaper on Monday, the October 19, which reads like this: like the title of the article is "Probing Judicial Impropriety and Corruption." Prashant Bhushan asked for only retired judges of high credibility would be able to conduct a robust inquiry into Jagan Reddy's complaint. He says that retired judges and that too they should be of high credibility. They should alone be able to conduct a robust inquiry into Jagan Reddy's complaint. So in the course of the discussion in the article, he mentions about how the Supreme Court appointed committees have conducted inquiries against judges in the past and their effectiveness or the otherwise of it. Prashant Bhushan particularly brings out the fact that in case of sexual harassment of complainant against the previous Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, by a woman employee of the Supreme Court, an in-house committee did not allow the complainant to be accompanied by her lawyer. The charges, yeah, nor did it allow recording of the proceedings. The final report, which purportedly exonerated Mr. Gogoi, has not yet seen the light of the day. So Prashant Bhushan says that there is much to be desired from the in-house committees appointed by the Supreme Court to go into the complaints against the justices, against the sitting judges of Supreme Court, and he particularly draws to the fact that no, in a complaint against Ranjan Gogoi alleging sexual advances towards an employee of the Supreme Court. The in-house committee did not allow the complainant to be accompanied by her lawyer. So the in-house company denied the complainant, that is the lady, the employee of the Supreme Court, to engage a lawyer to take him or to accompany him, to accompany a lawyer along with her, nor did it allow recording of the proceedings. So proceedings also were not allowed to be recorded. The final report, which purportedly exonerated Mr. Gogoi, has not yet seen the light of day. So finally, the Supreme Court appointed committee said that Gogoi is cleared of all charges and there is nothing against him, like that. They gave a report, but that final report did not see the light of the day. It is not made public so far. Strangely, the woman whose allegations were found to be unsubstantiated by this committee was later reinstated by the court. So, even the woman who had complained of sexual harassment by the former Chief Justice, having leveled unsubstantiated allegations against the Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi, was later reinstated. She was given the job in the and she was allowed to work in the Supreme Court as such. So this is very strange. So that is what the author says. This caused serious doubts on the credibility of the report. So such an instance or the recent arisen which has exonerated the outgoing the Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi, which did not see the light of the day. So these kinds of the things, they cast serious doubts on the credibility or on the truthfulness of the report. So Prashant Bhushan argues for only retired judges of high credibility will be able to conduct a robust inquiry into Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy's complaint. Now we have to search for judges or former judges of High Court with high credibility. The Chief Justice should set up a credible inquiry committee. So he also asked for uh, the Chief Justice not only to institute an inquiry committee, but the inquiry committee must be of credible in nature. This will enhances the reputation of the judiciary. Of course, obviously, such a credible inquiry committee, if it is instituted, would definitely enhance the reputation of the judiciary, dispel mistruths, and redeem the image of the judge concerned. This is exactly the concluding points of the author, Advocate Prashant Bhushan, in the Hindu article that he has published. But before that, he also practically suggests like what the Chief Justice of India should do in the backdrop of the letter being addressed by the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy to CGI. So he says that the purpose of the in-house procedure is that all credible complaints of misconduct against judges of the High Court and Supreme Court should be looked into by a committee of judges. So a committee of judges must look into the credible complaints of misconduct. So complaints should also be credible in nature. So they should look into the misconduct against judges of the High Court and Supreme Court. Uh, it's by a committee of judges. The charges made in Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy's complaint are serious, appear to warrant an in-house inquiry. So Prashant Bhushan clearly says that the allegations leveled against the Supreme Court Judge Justice N.V. Ramana and six other AP High Court judges, uh, they are serious in nature and they appear to warrant an in-house inquiry. Code of conduct requires an inquiry by three sitting judges of the Supreme Court. So the code of conduct requires that no, the inquiry should be three sitting judges of the Supreme Court. But in a complaint involving senior most puisne judge, that is Justice N.V. Ramana, who is second in charge and who is about to become the Chief Justice of India next year, it is unlikely that junior judges will conduct a robust and credible inquiry, because when number two is involved in such allegations, then who has to conduct inquiry? That is the junior judges, at least right from number three onwards. So the junior judges, how can they give a credible report against their superior, that too who is going to become the chief justice? So Prashant Bhushan argues that it is unlikely that junior judges will conduct a robust and credible inquiry. So his opinion is that no, the judges will not conduct a credible inquiry. In okay, so then uh, there is another issue here which the author Prashant Bhushan uh, focuses on in view of the uh, developments after the letter written by the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Y. Jagan Mohan Reddy, to Chief Justice of India, seeking probe or seeking inquiry into the alleged allegations of involvement of Supreme Court Chief Justice, Supreme Court Senior Most Judge N.V. Ramana, and his involvement in Andhra Pradesh High Court with a view to favor the outcomes of cases towards uh, former Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu. Jagan Mohan Reddy, in his letter dated October 6, had alleged that the Supreme Court Senior Judge N.V. Ramana has got political links with the former Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu. In fact, Justice N.V. Ramana was made Additional Advocate General during the TDP regime in 1998 and 99 in that period, and Justice Ramana became High Court Judge in the year 1999, and he has been propped up by the Telugudesam Party, and he was acting at the behest of Telugudesam Party and influencing the outcomes of the judgments, irrespective of the merits of the cases, uh, taking shelter under the several loopholes that the legal system provides. The judges were seen giving relief to the people who are close in proximity to uh, the then ruling party, Telugu Desam party, and subsequently also it has been a constant allegation by the former by the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, V.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, in the last 10 years that Justice N.V. Ramana has been acting in a manner that is totally against the code of conduct of judges, because once a person becomes a judge, he should become impartial and should dispense justice according to the case on hand. But and the allegations leveled by Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister S. Jagan Mohan Reddy were quite in contrary to what was expected of a judge of high caliber nature, who could be held in high esteem for his sagacity and judicial prudence. So uh, that has been the ongoing controversy. Lack of propriety. We can't use the word lack of propriety, but definitely the favoritism that has been shown by Justice Ramana has come in for sharp criticism, and that is now has become a raising controversy, raising questions whether Justice N.V. Ramana would be allowed to become the next Chief Justice, or would he be transferred, or what sort of actions would be taken by the Chief Justice of India. So Prashant Bhushan, the author, here uh, mentions about uh, the. Of course, he has recalled the contents of the letter, which speaks about volumes about the interference of Chief Justice N.V. Ramana, purported interference, and the devastating effects it had on the Andhra Pradesh government in conducting the governance, so on and so forth. So the author Prashant Bhushan, while recalling the allegations and the developments in this paragraph, he says that two questions have arisen. Prashant Bhushan here raises two questions. One, whether such a letter complaint against the Supreme Court judge should have been put out in the public domain. So the author is questioning here whether such a letter, which is written by Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, should have been made open to the public. And second thing is what the Chief Justice response should be. So how the Chief Justice of India would respond to such a letter. So here he goes back to the history and recalls in 1997, in the year 1997, judges adopted an in-house procedure. Judges adopted an in-house procedure for inquiring into such charges. In case of a complaint against a Supreme Court judge, the Chief Justice of India is expected to order an inquiry by three sitting judges of the Supreme Court. So, uh, in case of charges against Supreme Court judge, Chief Justice is expected to order an inquiry by three sitting judges of the Supreme Court. So he quotes a case here. Though in C. Ravichandran Iyer versus Justice A.M. Bhattacharjee, 1995 case. Ravichandran Iyer versus Justice A.M. Bhattacharjee, the court held that such complaints should be kept confidential. Unfortunate reality is judiciary tend to try and brush complaints of corruption against judges under the carpet. So in the above cases, the court held that complaints should be kept confidential. So complaints should not be made open public, but they should be kept confidential. But the unfortunate reality is judiciary tend to try and brush complaints of corruption against judges under the carpet. So judiciary always brush them out and brush them the complaints against judges under the carpet. Sometimes the public becomes aware of such complaint, Chief Justice is compelled to order an inquiry. So if the public becomes aware of such complaint, the Chief Justice is compelled to order an inquiry. But we have often seen that even credible complaints against judges made confidential to the CJI are ignored. So here, Prashant Bhushan, the author, is saying that so, if complaints made to CJI about serious allegations of corruption against sitting judges confidentially, so they are all ignored. So, that is why Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister AP Jagannath Reddy had chosen the other path of what we call making it public. So, if the public becomes aware of such complaint, CJI is compelled to order an inquiry. So, in this case also, in this Justice N.V. Ramana case also, the Chief Justice of India is compelled to institute an inquiry. Same is seen in attempts to impeach the judge. So even in respect of impeachment of judges also, the same kind of thing is being seen. That is what the author Prashant Bhushan says. Prashant Bhushan says that I have found that at least two conditions must be satisfied before a sufficient number of MPs are willing to sign an impeachment motion against the judge. So, in case an impeachment motion has to be brought into Parliament, it has to satisfy two conditions that there should be solid documentary evidence of corruption. So, there must be solid documentary evidence should be of corruption should be there, and it should have become public scandal. Then second condition is that it should have become public scandal. So solid documentary evidence about scandal is required, and also it should have become a public scandal. In the absence of the second condition, that is, in case it is not made public scandal, MPs are reluctant to sign an impeachment motion even if there is documentary evidence of corruption. So if it is not made a public scandal, then MPs or members of parliament are reluctant to sign the impeachment motion. So the Ravichandran Iyer decision that the complaint should be kept confidential is only likely to lead to more serious complaints being shelved. So in the Ravichandran case above that we have cited, complaint should be kept confidential. So that condition likely to lead to more serious complaints being shelved. That means when it is confidential, who is going to know about that? No, everything should be brushed aside under the carpet. That is what the author pointing out here. In any case, the court held sunlight is the best disinfectant, and there is no reason why such complaints, even if made against senior sitting judges, should not be put out in the public domain. So he is batting for complaints need to be put in public domain, even if it is against the senior judges. As the metaphor here he used is the sunlight being a disinfectant, best disinfectant. So everything should be made public. The view that this would scandalize the court is archaic. So one version of the uh, one version that the advocates have taken in this country is questioning the propriety or questioning the timing or questioning the method of where Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagannath Reddy to make it public, to put it in public, it should have been confidential. So that it would scandalize the court. So the author Prashant Bhushan here is saying the opinion that if allegations are made public would scandalize the court is he is saying that it is archaic, that means it is very old fashions and all that, has been discarded most progressive democracies. So most progressive democracies have discarded such practices of what we call putting the complaints putting the putting the comments against judges as archaic, as progressive democracies are now embracing to put everything in public domain and calling for a discussion. Finally, the author is also saying that petitions have been moved seeking action against Mr. Reddy for releasing the letter to the media. So some judges and some petitioners have filed cases before Supreme Court seeking action against Jagan Mohan Reddy for putting the letter in public domain. Contempt proceedings against him would be counterproductive. Prashant Bhushan is now saying here that if the High Court or if the Supreme Court takes the contempt proceedings against Jagan Mohan Reddy, Prashant Bhushan is saying that they are counterproductive since he is likely to be cowed down. Since he is unlikely to be cowed down, that is, Jagan Mohan Reddy is unlikely to be ordered to behave himself, or maybe made order to bring sanity and clip him down. So that is what the author says. The issues will probably escalate. So Prashant Bhushan, the author here, expect that if such contempt proceedings are moved against AP Chief Minister Y. Jagan Mohan Reddy for making the letter scandalizing the court in that would become counterproductive, and because Mr. Reddy may not lie down, further denting the image of the judiciary. So he will fire another sally and again bring disrepute to the judiciary. Some say Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy's charges against the judge should not be taken seriously since he is himself facing several corruption cases. Of course, this has been there right from the beginning. So when Jagan Mohan Reddy himself is an accused in several cases, how could he write such a letter alleging or attributing motives to the Supreme Court judge and another half dozen judges of the High Court when he himself is facing charges, several corruption charges? In fact, a bench headed by the same Supreme Court judge ordered fast tracking of such criminal cases against MPs and MLAs. So here the author Prashant Bhushan recalls. So the bench headed by the same Supreme Court judge ordered, that is including Justice N.V. Ramana and others, fast tracking criminal cases against MPs and MLAs. However, the fact that the complainants may be corrupt should not cloud the view about the charges made by him. So here, of course, quite contentiously, but it is the opinion of the author. So Prashant Bhushan is now saying that the complainant may be corrupt. So even if complainant is corrupt, it should not cloud the view that about the charges made by him. So even corrupt complainants also can make charges against the judges, and it should not be viewed. It should not cloud or obfuscate the about the charges made by him. So if those charges are serious and backed by evidence, they must be investigated. So author's view is that even if complainant is himself is steeped in corruption cases, and if he makes allegations of impropriety or corruption or favoritism or nepotism or whatever you say against the sitting judges, senior most sitting judges of the Supreme Court, then Prashant Bhushan, the author of this article, argues that even if those charges are serious and there is evidence backed by evidence, they must be investigated. Charges of corruption can also be a ground for initiating impeachment. Okay, such charges therefore cannot remain secret. So that is what the uh, opinion of the author. Charges of corruption can also be a ground for initiating impeachment. Fine, no problem. So such charges cannot remain secret. So they must be made in public. So this definitely this article, of course, brings out certain points like the Chief Justice of India has to initiate an inquiry. A three-judge committee should be appointed, and those three judges must necessarily be um, retired honest judges. That is what the author Prashant Bhushan requested, because the Justice N.V. Ramana, who is second, Pushne judge, who is second in line, uh, uh, has to be proved by a committee if it is appointed by junior judges to him. That is number 3, 4, 5, like that. So such judges may not take adverse view, or maybe a view that would deleteriously affect the interests of the judge, their superior. So they can't do justice. So that is why author Prashant Bhushan asked for a committee of honest retired judges to probe into the allegations. Thank you. My name is Shivaram Reddy. Keep watching.